kids, so good to see you. Thank you for joining us today. It's our favorite day of the week and we're so excited we get to spend Sunday with you guys. And so I hope you're ready for today. We're going to be looking at the last part of our series that we've been doing, Faith, Hope, and Love. And we're going to be learning about why it's important that we show love, not just with our words, but also with our actions. So I hope you're ready and expecting for all that God is going to do in our hearts today. I'm going to be handing over to our amazing worship team.
Hi there guys and girls, super excited to be with you here this Sunday. We know that love makes the world go round, and we also know that Jesus tells us to love everybody. Well, now is the time for us to show God how much we love Him. So why don't you all jump up, rub the sleep out of your eyes, and get ready to jump and dance and sing and show God how excited we are to be spending time with Him this Sunday. Here we go!
Waking up knowing there's a reason. All my dreams come alive. Life is for living. With you, I've made my decision. You lift me up, fill my eyes with wonder. Forever young in your love, this freedom's untainted. With you, no moment is wasted. See the sun now bursting through the clouds, black and white, turn to color all around. All is new in the Savior I have found. This is living now. This is living now. You lead the way, got you right beside me. In your love, I'm complete. There's nothing like living with you. This life you created, I choose. See the sun now bursting through the clouds, black and white, turn to color all around. All is new in the Savior I have found. This is living now. This is living now. You take me higher than I've been before. It's your perfect love that sees me soar. God, your freedom is an open door. You are everything, one and more. This is living now. This is living now. You take me higher than I've been before. It's your perfect love that sees me soar. God, your freedom is an open door. You are everything, one and more. You're doing a new thing, making my heart sing, bringing color to this brand new day. It's never been clearer, you draw me nearer. You're always with me and you are right now. My song, a melody, your perfect love for me. My heart is full of praise. Your love, it makes a way. And I give you my hallelujah. never been clearer. You draw me nearer. You're always with me, and you are right now. My song, a melody. Your perfect love for me. My heart is full of praise. Your love, it makes a way. And I give you my hallelujah. Hallelujah for all my days. Jesus, take my hallelujah. Hallelujah, I give you praise. And I give you my hallelujah. Hallelujah for all my days. Jesus, take my hallelujah. Hallelujah, I give you praise. You draw me nearer. You draw my hallelujah. Ooh, my heart is full. My hallelujah.
Hey Sky Kids, I'm so excited to get to chat with you today. So, first of all, we're going to play a little game. So if you're chilling on the couch with your feet up, I want you to jump up, stand in front of your TV, and we're going to play a little game of Simon Says. Okay, but I'm sure you guys know the normal way that we play that game, but today we're going to play with a twist, okay? I'm going to say things, and you have to copy what I say, not what I do. So if I say, Simon says, put your hands on your shoulders, Simon says, put your hands on your head. Is that head? Nah. Okay, so pay attention to the words that I say, not the actions that I do. Ready? Okay. Simon says, put your hands on your hips. Simon says, put your hands on your shoulders. Simon says, put your hands on your knees. Simon says, put your hands on your cheeks. Simon says, put your hands on your head. Did I get anybody? Okay, let's try another round. Simon says, touch your elbow. Simon says, clasp your hands. Simon says, put your hands on your head. Simon says, put your hands on your stomach. Simon says, put your hands on your nose. Simon says, put your hands on your toes. Did I get anybody? I hope so. I really wish I could see you guys. Okay, so obviously we played that game, a little bit of a twist. Did you guys find it frustrating to hear me say something different than what I was doing? Was it a little bit tricky to understand what was going on? Okay, the thing is, guys, is that we are just like that sometimes. Sometimes we say something totally different than what we do. And that's really frustrating because it can mean that the words that we say become unreliable. The thing is that God has asked us to love people. And we can talk about loving people, but we have to actually follow through that talking with doing. There's a huge difference between talking about love and actually doing the action of loving people. And so today, we want to talk about this thing. There are lots of people right now in our world who are feeling afraid, who are feeling anxious, who are maybe scared, who are maybe sad and hurting. And God has asked us to love those people. But we can't just talk about it. We actually have to do something about it. In the Bible, there's a verse that's from 1 John chapter 3, verse 18. And it says, "Dear children, don't just talk about love. Put your love into action. Then, and only then, will it truly be love." And that's actually pretty hectic, guys, because it's basically saying that if you don't put it into action, it's not real love. So if we want to talk about loving people, just like God has asked us to do, and just like the Bible talks about us doing, then we have to do something about it. It's not enough for us to say to our friends, "I'll be there for you if you ever need me." And then when your friend phones you and they're crying and they're really struggling, you run a mile in the opposite direction. That's not putting love into action. So let's practice that it's not enough to talk about love. we actually have to do something.
Passover is a very important festival for the Jewish people. It started way back in the Old Testament when the children of Israel were in captivity in Egypt, and continues to this day. In our story, it was just before the Passover feast. Jesus knew that his time on earth was almost over, so he takes this opportunity with those closest to him, his disciples, to teach a powerful lesson of humility and leave them with an example that would last forever. It's the day before Jesus would be crucified, and they're all enjoying a meal. Jesus gets up from the meal, takes a towel, and wraps it around his waist. What's going on? What is Jesus up to? He then poured water into a large bowl and began to wash his disciples' feet. Washing feet was a practical thing, a sign of hospitality in the time of Jesus. The roads were dusty and dirty, and it was expected that the guests' feet would be washed. But not by an honoured guest like Jesus, and everybody's reaction was different. He came to Simon Peter. "Lord," Peter said to him, "are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus replied, "You don't realize now what I am doing, but later you will understand." "No," said Peter, "you will never wash my feet." Peter thinks he knows better than Jesus at this point, but Jesus changes his mind with just a few words. "Unless I wash you, you can't share life with me," Jesus replied. "Lord," Simon Peter replied, "not just my feet, wash my hands and my head too." Jesus answered, "A person who has had a bath needs to wash only his feet. The rest of his body is clean, and you are clean." When Jesus finished washing their feet, he returned to his place at the table. Jesus knew that you can't just talk about love, you need to show it in your actions, by what you do. "Do you understand what I have done for you?" he asked them. "You call me teacher and Lord. You are right, that is what I am. I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet. So you also should wash one another's feet. I have given you an example. You should do as I have done for you. What I am about to tell you is true. A servant is not more important than his master, and a messenger is not more important than the one who sends him. Now you know these things, so you will be blessed if you do them." This example of humble service shows us how anyone can put aside their pride and serve others, and one of the most powerful stories from the life of Jesus.
Awesome, guys. So I want to leave you with 3 little points that you should think about this week. Number 1 is that we need to love our neighbors. Okay, but who are our neighbors really? Because we know that they're the people that live like on either side of our houses, or maybe the people who live in our street or our complex. But actually, the truth is, guys, is that our neighbors are everyone on earth, okay? They're the people that go to your school. They're the people that go to the mall. They're the people in the sports teams you support. They're the people in our country. They're the people in our world. This earth is basically one giant neighborhood, and God has asked us to love our neighbor. Did you know that the greatest commandment in the Bible that Jesus ever gives says this: love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and body. Then he says something crazy. He says the second commandment is just as important. And it says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. And so we can know that right up there in the most important things that God has ever asked us to do is to love your neighbor. Number 2 is that we only love because God first loved us. It will be impossible for you to show anybody love if you don't understand that God loves you. And that love that He pours out to you, He does it so that you can pour it out to somebody else. And it is going to be super hard to love people if you don't understand that God loves you and He gives us the strength to love other people. The last thing is that love needs to be put in action. I don't know if you guys have ever heard, like when you have a sports day or like there's some competition in your school and people are like, oh, we're gonna beat you, we're definitely gonna win, our team's the best, and then they go and do something really embarrassing and they lose. How embarrassing is that when you're all talk and no action? And the thing is, guys, we don't want to be those people. As Christians, we shouldn't be all talk and no action. That's embarrassing. We need to be people who put into action the fact that we love someone else or that we love God. And I don't know about you guys, but if my mom came to me one day and just said like, I love you, and then never said it again, and she never showed it in the way that she acted, she didn't help me with my homework or help me figure out chores, help me cook dinner, help me do life, give me gifts, take me to school. If she never did any actions that showed me that she loved me, I wouldn't feel loved. And I don't know if you guys would either if your mom did that. So that's why it's important that we do things to show people that we love them. It's not good enough to just talk and talk and talk about loving people. It is so important, one of the greatest commandments, that we love people and therefore show them that through our actions.
Thanks so much, Sarah. Kids, wasn't that amazing? I hope you guys enjoyed learning a little bit more about faith, hope, and love. And today is the last Sunday you can send us a video of you doing the love memory verse. So if you learned the actions or the dance and the words off by heart, why don't you send us a video of you doing it? Because the best one will receive a prize from us. So we can't wait to announce the winner, and we can't wait to see you guys next Sunday as we start a brand new series. Don't forget, it's also Father's Day, so follow us on social media as we'll be posting some ideas on how you can spoil your dad and make his day special. Hope you have the best week. Can't wait to see you next Sunday.